tillers and escorts. I'm sorry you guys had to wait for a lot of time. We had some technical hindrances, but now we are good to go. And so what is the things that are driving the stocks of VSC tillers and escorts? Why we are bullish on it? We need to understand first the nuances behind this. So if you see that we have a normal plus monsoon, which is spread well across all of India, and this augurs very well for the agri economy. That is one of the reasons. For last 2 years we've had a drought, and that has hit all farm equipment sales. And now with monsoons returning to normal and meteorological department forecasting higher than normal growth, we expect uh, the farm economy to pick up, and accordingly all farm equipment should also do well. Secondly, government has introduced a slew of measures which are expected to boost farm income. In my opinion, one of the single most important thing that the government could introduce was the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which has replaced the earlier NAIS. And in this, significant benefits accrue to the farmer. And for just 2% premia on the sum assured, they will get protection from pre-sowing hardships, post-sowing screwing up of weather, post-harvesting loss of crop, and any kind of localized calamities. So this augurs very well for farm security, and it will encourage farmers to go ahead with their plantation and investment in farm equipment. Other areas where the government has budgeted 35,984 crores for agriculture and farmer welfare, which is about 128% higher. Secondly, we are setting up e-markets or e-mandis for better price discovery. So the farmer will not be at the mercy of the traders. Secondly, we are introducing soil health cards, under which all 14 crore farm holdings are to be covered by the end of March 2017. And in this, we will we will have complete information on the fertility of the soil. Other new schemes being introduced are water conservation and irrigation and focus on micro irrigation. So we have the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, where we are going to get 28.5 lakh hectares under irrigation, and implementation of 89 irrigation projects is to be expected to be fast tracked. Further, there are dedicated long-term irrigation fund to be set up under NABARD for 20,000 crores, and through 3 multilateral agencies, groundwater resource program for 6,000 crores for beefing up the underground reserves, which are sharply depleting, is to be instituted. So all these measures speak very well for the inputs by the government to promote farm growth. And because of this, we believe farm equipment should do well, and tractors being one of the biggest sales of farm equipment should paddy with the rise in monsoon. As you can see from this chart, that tractor volumes are strongly related to precipitation, and with this normal monsoon ensuing, we should see a good 10 to 12% growth for the industry. Another thing we need to understand is the marginal and small farm holdings of our country. If you can see here where we have highlighted in red, you will see that marginal holdings of farmers are going up, while at the same time the hectare per holding is coming down sharply. So this leads to the situation where tillers should get a sales push. And if you were to compare the economy of Bangladesh, they are very similar to our subcontinent, and they have an arable mass of land mass which is only 5% of India's total arable land mass, and they have a tiller market size of nearly 2 lakh units, or which is 4 times that of India's total market of about 55,000 units. So given this kind of latent demand potential which persists in each and every state, with practically about 10 states being the size of Bangladesh or larger, there is significant and latent demand, and with the VST company expecting this demand to go up from 55,000 units to about 2 lakh units in the next 4-5 years augurs very well for the tiller sales push. Secondly, the government provides a lot of farm subsidy for farm equipment like tractors and tillers, and this should go a long way in encouraging purchase of tillers and tractors. Now, having understood the background of how the farm and the various elements are impacting the purchase of farm equipment, we will have a look at two companies. One is VST Tillers and Tractors and the other is Escorts. So right now let's talk about VST Tillers and Tractors. So we have initiated coverage on VST with a buy with a price objective of rupees 2,451, of which is 19 times FY19 earnings for VST. This implies a potential of 25% from a current price of 1962 over a period of next 2.5 years. Currently, we are quoting at about 15 times FY19 multiple. And while our valuation target is demanding, we believe that the dominance in the tiller segment, strong growth of the compact tractor segment puts VST in a sweet spot for strong visibility of earnings over the forecast period. Their margins are expected to remain robust and they have superior return ratios, which should help the company in maintaining or even building upon valuations. Now we are expecting overall VST tillers volumes revenues to grow at a CAGR of 16.3% to 1017 crores by FY19, within which we expect the revenues from the tractor segment to grow at 21.4 crores, while tillers are expected to cross 500 crores, growing at 13.4% CAGR. Tillers, if we come to the particular tiller numbers, we expect these tiller numbers to grow at a CAGR of 12.3% to 38,820 units over the forecast period. And corresponding, these revenues are expected to grow, as we said earlier, 13.5% to 519 crores, while margins are expected to hover in the range of 17 to 18%. Now, if you see the tractor industry, it is primarily dominated by 6 players, where M&M Group has a large share. And if we were to break down the tractor industry player-wise, what we will see that under the 30 HP segment, which is the main area under which VST operates, has a total tractor demand of 64,760 units in FY13, which has grown to 51,431 units. And in that, we have seen M&M having a market share of 52%, while we have seen VST's share climb from 9% to almost 15% over that period. So they have significantly grown their market share. So currently in the under the sub 20 HP segment, in which it has got a major shareholding, it has a 33% market share, and we forecast overall the sales of the tractor segment to grow at a CAGR of 18% to 780 from 7801 units to 12960 units by FY19, for overall CAGR revenue growth of 21% to 347 crores. They have launched a new model in the 27 HP category, and in the last 3 months they have sold nearly 150 units. And we are targeting around 900 to 950 odd units to be sold in the current year, which would help boost the tractor income. So as we said earlier, margins are expected to remain stable, both EBITDA and PAT. And VST's ROE is extremely attractive compared to the PE of all 3 stocks, making it a compulsive buy. So here we can see it's got 18 multiple, while its historic multiple is at about 21. And these are the salient features of how we expect the stock's key financials to move over the next 3 years. So we expect 1017.5 crores of earnings, EBITDA of 181 crores with a PAT of 123 crores, giving us a EPS of 142 and uh, on an ROC of 28.5% and an ROE of 18.9%. So that's all there is for VST from our side. And now let us look at Escorts, which derives nearly 80% of its income from the sale of tractors. However, it has multiple divisions as can be seen in its uh, revenue share structure. So Escorts, which predominantly had revenues about 3,500 crores in FY16, and these could broadly be broken down into agri machinery, which is about 78.5%, construction equipment, which is about 13%, railways contributes to about 6% of revenues, and they have a auto products business, which is a very small business of 2.64%, and it is a slightly loss-making entity. Within the construction equipment, they have a dominant market share with 48% share in the business, and it constitutes 70% of their construction equipment revenues, followed by material handling and road building. In the railways, their existing portfolios consists of couples, shockers, and brake pads, while they've introduced two new products, bogie mounted and Alex mountain products. Now, if we understand the product mix of HP tractor wise, what you will see is that the dominant share of tractors is mainly in the 31 to 50 HP series, and more than 90% of Escorts production is focused in this category. And if you notice that in the 31 to 40 HP series, while the tractor sales have grown from 192 odd units to 180 have deprecated to around 185,000 odd units, Mahindra has been barely able to manage to maintain market share. So its market share stays at 13% with a shade below 14. And if you were to look at the 40 to 50 HP tractor series, its share has slipped slightly. And so to take on this kind of competitive elements which are coming in from its peers, the company has embarked on a three-pronged strategy to grow business. One is they are looking at network expansion, and in this, basically what they are doing is they have carved out two product lines in the north. So they've divided their network into the north and the south, and in the north they've hived off Farmtrac and PowerTrack, which are the two models, into a separate dealer network. Further, what they are doing is that they have about 760 odd dealerships, with 65% of them being in Pan India, and they're trying to improve their reach in the newer markets of South, and they expect that the balance of share of dealerships would be 60-40 in favor of their profitable markets, which are MP, UP, Bihar, Punjab, Rajasthan, and Haryana. Apart from this, they are also looking at a series of margin expansion activities which would help boost their profitability. So in this, they are looking to lower RM cost through vendor strength rationalization, where they have reduced them to 250 from its erstwhile 400, and they're further intending to lower the vendor list by offering SOPs to vendors in the form of higher business volume, while they can squeeze them on costing. So currently RM costs have reduced by 200 bips to 69.1%. And they're further expected to come down to 67%. Other measures that the company has taken are to rationalize employee costs. They have 2,500 blue collar employees after a VRS of 350, which was given last year. And we expect this number to come down to 1,900 over the next 3 years through VRS opportunities to 350 employees and natural retirement. So overall, we expect margins to grow by 330 bips to 11% on the EBIT level by FY18. And on the back of all these measures, we expect tractor revenues to grow at a 2-year CAGR of 15% to 3,750 crores by FY18. So this is that what we are looking at. So now let's look at his other segment, which is the railways. So the railways segment provides a huge opportunity as an unprecedented thrust on railway capital outlay, which is expected to grow by almost 35% to over the next 2 years, with the government intending to spend 1 lakh crore per annum over the next 5 years. This is huge for the railways. Further allowance of 100% FDI should help open up a huge opportunity for Escorts, as it is one of the major vendors to the railways. So Escort supplies, as we said earlier, brakes, couplers and chockers, which has a combined market size of 500 crores. And it has also introduced two new products, bogie mounted brake systems, which have completed testing, and axle mounted brake systems, where it is in an advanced stage of deployment, and both these constitute a 300 crore opportunity. So given this, we expect the company's revenues from the railway segment to grow at a 2-year CAGR of 20% to 296 crores by FY18, clocking an EBITDA of 32 crores with a margin of 11%. Now, as we said earlier, the dominant share is from the cranes business, and these revenues we expect to grow at a CAGR of 13% to 587 crores, and the business is expect to achieve a EBIT break even in the second half. So they also have another auto segment business which is making losses, and they're expecting to sell off this business. For this, we are looking at strategic partners, and once the sale of this business were to go through, we would surely expect profitability to get a boost. So we are initiating coverage on Escorts with a buy with a price objective of 298, representing a potential upside of 36% over the next 1 to 1.5 years. On a PE basis, we have assigned a target PE of 17.5 on the FY18 EPS of 200 of 17 to arrive at the price target that we stated. The hopes of a good monsoon after 2 years, improving tractor demand, government thrust on infra and railway spending, on the construction equipment and railway segments, sale of the auto segments, and expansion in margins through cost-cutting initiatives should help boost profitability.